Good morning from the home studio in Middletown, Delaware. I am Marshall Manlove of Delaware Sports and My Sports Reports. It is Wednesday, October 27th. It's like 8:30 in the morning. I've actually been up since like 5:30. Couldn't sleep. Don't ever get into the real estate business. That's my advice for the day. Don't do it, especially if you care about what you do or the people that you work with. You will lose sleep. I lost sleep, so I want out. One of the reasons I'm doing this, to get out of the real estate business. So as time has started to pass by here, we're almost wrapping up our first month of broadcasting local sports again. We're making more contacts, people getting some information to us, and things have been happening. It's been a busy week for local athletes here in Delaware. Now, if you're watching outside of Delaware, primarily, I'm just covering Delaware right now, but the reason that we have the YouTube channel set up as My Sports Reports is because eventually we will not just only cover Delaware sports. I'll probably just stick with Delaware sports because that's where I live, but the grander plan. If you are watching this for the very first time, or if you have never heard of me before, you're part of a large group. Our website, my website, DelawareSports.com, was the first of its kind. It launched in 1995. So I've been doing this for a long time, although not for like the last 12 or 13 years. It took a hiatus of 12 or 13 years because my company was destroyed in the Great Recession. And I took on other things. I'm a hypnotist, MarshallManlove.com. You can see me there. It's my main line of work right now. Along with the real estate, which, as you should have picked up by now, I don't like. I don't like it. I don't like this. Occasionally it is rewarding. Most of the time it is not. But my real estate page is marshallmanlove.foxroach.com. Here's where I would prefer that you go if you have any interest outside of sports as far as anything that I do. At DelawareSports.com, this was a groundbreaking website at the time. The World Wide Web is basically just starting. And what this website did at the time was break news. Our website predated all printed newspaper companies' websites, so we were able to scoop everybody. Now, that's not a big deal now because people can scoop everyone with their phone in the stands, the bleachers, from the sidelines. But at the time, it was a big deal. And we actually aired the first full-length sports television show on the internet on this website. Now, at the time, the resolution was so bad that you basically were showing a picture. That's it. Like, if I moved my head like this, it would get all blurry and pixelated. So it's kind of pointless to show highlight videos. Of course, now times have changed, and thankfully so. But it's to the point now where I finally decided after all these years that now's the time to jump back in there because I can live stream to a bunch of different places. And we do so. Right now, I'm just live streaming directly to my personal Facebook page, and then I shift the videos over to Delaware Sports and My Sports Reports pages on Facebook, and then live stream to YouTube at My Sports Reports and Twitch.tv, just My Sports Report, no spaces, and at Rumble.com, My Sports Reports, no spaces. So I don't do a whole lot on the website, although I have a major project that's brewing in my head that is scaring me. Because if I take it on, I'm going to be real busy. So, what was so big that happened? Well, if you remember this past weekend, we had a football player from St. Elizabeth make it onto the NFHS record books for scoring 8 touchdowns in a game. He scored them in 3/4 of the game. And now it wasn't the most ever, but there's a list, right? So the most touchdowns was 13, and 12, 11, 10, and then it went to 8. So he's on the list, tied at 8. Yesterday, 2 more Delaware athletes happened to make an NFHS record list. I drove by one and was at the other. And by the way, at the football game, I was on campus for that one too. So bringing good luck. Invite me to your game and let's set some new records. What were those records? Well, let's take a look. We are going to start, well, let's work backwards here. We're going to start with, now her nickname's Bree. I'm going to mess up her name, I imagine. Let's say it's Brenia Reed. And let's see what she did on the volleyball court. Sussex Central's Brenia Reed. She entered the NFH record books with 50 kills in a match against Caesar Rodney last night that I refereed. Well, it's not the most ever in the match. The amount of kills places her on the all-time list, and the performance is the sixth best this century in a sanctioned high school match, the most being 61. I don't know if you can read that. I can barely read it, and I've just enlarged it. By Katie Wilkins of El Cajon Christian High School in California. She is now tied, Miss Reed is now tied for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th on this list. And I didn't assume that anybody would just know about this over NFHS, so I submitted this record to them this morning along with the football record and the next one that we're going to mention. So I happened to take a picture of her last night at the match because her coach Mike Adams told me that she has 925 kills for her career. The 50 that she had here gives her obviously then 975. If I can do the math this early. Wait, another sip of coffee just to make sure. Yeah. So she should get 1,000 kills. While I was there, well, we'll talk about that in a second because something else happened. Another statistical milestone. Also, right in my backyard, I passed this game yesterday from MOT Charter. Eshel Malazarte. Just trying to figure out what that noise was from MOT Charter. She enters NFHS record books in a game against Glasgow High School yesterday. She scored 7 goals in their field hockey contest. She also added an assist in the 8-2 victory. Only 4 other times has anyone in recorded NFHS history scored more goals in a game. She's now tied for 4th on this list. And this was the first time this century a high school field hockey player has scored this many goals in a game. You'll see that the record is held by Teresa Galley with 11 from Kingston Pembroke Silver Lake Regional High School. There's a mouthful. In Massachusetts back in 1980. And then there's somebody who scored 10. Kim Miller out of Virginia Beach. S.B. Monroy from California scored 9. In Garden Grove, San Diego High School, California. And then Miss Malazarte tied with 7 other people. Congratulations. That is very awesome. Right in my backyard. That is very cool. Congratulations to them. Now, what else happened around the state? At the aforementioned Sussex Central Caesar Rodney match, Madeline McTeer recorded her 1,000th career assist The Golden Knights win against Caesar Rodney. She ends the match with 1,001, with still one more regular season plus the state tournament to go. She had 53 assists in this match, most of them to Bree Reed. There's the score of the MOT Glasgow game, and that's this chart here is that record again. Sussex Academy beat Indian River 6-1. Addison Basile scored twice for the Seahawks. Wait, who did that? Sussex Academy 6-1 over Indian River. My memory's bad. I don't even remember if I just said that or not. Cape Henlopen 7-0 winners over Caesar Rodney. Mackenzie Brown and Samantha Connors each scored twice and each had an assist in the win. And the Vikings held the Riders without a shot on goal. So I can't see anybody beating Cape Henlopen in Division I for the state title, and no one's beaten Delmar either in Division II. Some other scores: Archmere 2-1 over Newark Charter. Padua over St. Mark's 4-0. This messes up the rest of the Division I rankings also, because St. Mark's beat Wilmington Charter, who's 13-1. Wilmington Charter beat Padua Academy, I believe it was 4-3 or 3-2 earlier in the year. Polytech 3-0 winners over Sussex Central. Sussex Tech beats Dover. Tight contest there. And the Ravens needed that win. They've had a couple tough losses lately. Wilmington Christian 2-0 over St. Andrews. It's a Maryland score. We do some Maryland stuff too, occasionally. That'd be Holly Grove Christian 2-0 winners over Gunston School. St. Peter's and Paul of Maryland whooped up on Delmarva Christian 14-1. That's a rude way to treat your guests, man. They travel all the way over across the border into Maryland, and then you whoop them 14-1. No stats available there, so I don't know if anybody scored 7 or more goals for St. Peter's and Paul. I guess I could call them, find out. But it's much easier to get something mentioned here if you just send it to me at mysportsreports@gmail.com. And yes, if you're watching this for the first time, this is how I'm wearing my hair. I'm home. Although, I was thinking the irony of that is if I go out physically in public, I fix it, right? I stay here at home. I'm at home, but then I broadcast myself into more places where could potentially be visible than if I actually walk out in public. And we mentioned those other scores. Sorry, the hair is now in my eye. So it's Officials Recognition Week here in Delaware. DIAA is forcing people in the stands to stand up and cheer for officials. They're asking, but the people are, excuse me, now I'm spitting. I just find it funny that you could see they begrudgingly stand as they are asked. They politely do so, but they begrudgingly, like, I'm going to stand for the refs. And then about 10 minutes later, they totally forget that it's Officials Recognition Week. And the reason that they're having it is because there's a lack of officials. And one of the reasons there's a lack of officials, I know there's one less basketball official, me, who left because of how we get treated and talked to by coaches and fans, parents and fans. Not really the athletes so much. They're just busy trying to run around and score goals and stuff. They don't really care so much. And basketball is a little different, but it's so bad in basketball. Like, I'm done. You talk to me like that. You wouldn't talk to me like that out in the parking lot. Why would you just come in the gym and talk to me like that? I don't know. So I'm just out there. But 10 minutes into the match, you can hear people grumbling, even though it's Officials Recognition Week. I do want to thank the folks at Caesar Rodney, though, for giving my partner and I a little gift, a little coffee mug filled with chocolate. And see that the chocolate is now gone? Well, if you watched my show yesterday, you know that I was looking for a place near Caesar Rodney that I could eat afterwards. And I'm not a chain. I know I can always go to Burger King or Wawa or something like that, but someplace different. And I had gone to Redner's grocery store. Fantastic place, by the way. They have everything there. And I did have to go there to pick up something in particular again yesterday, which they had. And I was just shocked. Like, they just have everything there. But I wanted to have something to eat. I even asked my partner, who lives 5 minutes from there, is there any place interesting to eat? And he mentions Burger King and Wawa. I'm like, there's someplace different, man. And then he was parked next to me, and he also got a bag from the generous people at Caesar Rodney. And he beeps the horn at me and opens up the window. He says, chocolate, there's chocolate in there. There's chocolate in there. So problem solved. I didn't have to go anyplace else. I just ate chocolate for dinner. This cup. This also reminds me, too, when I did this show a long time ago, I did a radio show, too. And when I would have guests come on, they're always high school kids and their coaches occasionally, I would have them sign an autograph book, and I would cut their pictures out of newspapers or wherever I could get them. I would take a picture, post it on there, and I have this autograph book, and it's a great souvenir. And one of the things I regret not doing back then was collecting merch from all the different schools, whether a hat or I have a bunch of programs. That wasn't really it, but maybe like a mug or something. Oh, it's like a transparent mug with the green screen. Oh, look, now the little rider is riding all by himself. That's pretty cool. So I think I want to do that. The studio that I have set up here is just a green screen, but I should have like a regular live studio too, and I could hang stuff up on the walls. That would be cool. If I go to rent the studio some point, we'll do that. But that would be cool. What else? Over to boys soccer. Leicester Cyans. I don't know how you say that. Cyans, I'm sorry. Marquez scored all 3 goals for the Dickinson Rams, including the game winner in overtime against Odyssey Charter. The final score here, 3-2. Other scores there: Sussex Central 2-1 winners over Polytech. Tower Hill blanks Red Lion 9-0. Caesar Rodney 5-3 over Cape Henlopen. Worcester Prep in Maryland beats Holly Grove Christian 3-0. Appoquinimink 1-0 winners over St. Andrews in a Middletown contest. Caravel Academy 1-0 over Middletown, and Indian River 2-0 over Sussex Academy. In volleyball, Riley Wilson had 15 kills to lead Cape Henlopen over Polytech 3-1. Megan Smith had 35 assists. There's the Sussex Central Caesar Rodney game. Sussex Central came back from 2 sets down to win this contest. Only 5 points separated the two teams in the first 2 games. And I won't comment about the point differential there. Let's just say that for now. All right. And then, so it's 25-22, 25-23. Caesar Rodney won the first 2 sets. Then Sussex Central came back 25-20, 25-22, and took the 5th set 15-12. So in the last 5 matches that I have refereed, 4 of them have gone. They've all gone 5 sets, and 4 of them were tied at 10 in the 5th set. This was actually tied 12-12. And like, we should just come here, play one game up to 5, and go home. In this case, 3. Although, if we only played to 3 or 5 points, Bree Reed wouldn't have had 50 kills, and she wouldn't have made the record book. So, I'm glad we played the whole thing out. St. Mark's wins easily over Padua, although no win against Padua is ever easy. It's just that St. Mark's is a machine, and Julia Jurkovic had 15 kills to lead the Spartans as they remain undefeated. It was a big match. It was so big, they didn't want me to do it, ref it. But they sent me to another big match. That was an important match at Cesar Rodney, Sussex Central, as I talked about yesterday. And Sussex Central, I believe, is now 11-3. Riders and the regular season 10-5. Conrad, an MOT charter in the Diamond State Conference, went to war yesterday. Conrad pulls out a 3-2 victory, 15-12 in the fifth set. Alexis Rakowski had 10 kills and 26 digs, showing all-around talent there for the Red Wolves. Other scores there: Sanford beats Tatnall 3-0. Indian River 3-0 over Seaford. Charter School Wilmington 3-0 over St. Elizabeth's. Tower Hill takes out Archmere in 5 sets. Lake Forest 3-0 over Sussex Academy. Dover easily over Milford. Del Mar 3-0 winners over Woodbridge. Hollygrove Christian over Covenant Life School, Maryland 3-1. Delaware Military beats Ursuline 3-0, and that's likely going to take Ursuline out of the top 10 rankings. They needed that win for me to keep them there. Smyrna 3-0 winners over Sussex Tech, and Aquinas Academy. Aquinas or Aquinas? Let's go with Aquinas. Beats Delaware Valley Classical School 3-2. So that's what's up. Today I'm at St. George's Tech, reffing somebody. Well, the Hawks, and whoever they are playing. I don't remember. Last match of the regular season for me tomorrow is now at St. Elizabeth's High School. They will play AI DuPont. And that's about all I can think of at the moment. So, more information is starting to get to me. I try to get to as much as I can, and pretty much anything I can at this point. And then once the volleyball season is over, I'm going to dedicate more time to doing more of these and more from other states also, so that I can get out of the real estate business. I'm not going to get out of it totally, because there's people I would like to help, and I would like to be able to feed my dog Sasha, and her birthday is tomorrow. I will take a picture of her with her birthday hat on. I have 9 of them so far. It's her 10th birthday tomorrow, so she will have her 10th birthday picture. I will share it with you tomorrow. Anything else? That's it. If you would like to join me here, help me out, do some research, do some reporting, take my spot here. I can just work from the other side, feed you information on the teleprompter that's sitting right there that I still can't figure out how to use properly. Maybe I should do that today. Figure out how to get the teleprompter going. We got it together anyway. Now I just need to figure out how to work it remotely. That's the issue. All right, everybody. I am Marshall Manlove, and now I am gone. Have a great day.